Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where we are standing in the Weavers Guild to take our Weaver quest for Stormblood. Master Rose, what's going on? Desiree, just the person I was hoping to see. I trust you've been keeping your needlework as sharp as ever. But of course you have. You didn't become my foremost protege by slacking in your studies, now did you? Anyhow, I was just on my way to meet a most promising prospective business partner, and I believe he'd be most interested in making your acquaintance. The man in question is the young master of Daitenya, a purveyor of traditional fabrics and garments in Kugane, far to the east. Having recently taken over the family business from his father, he is traveling the world to seek out new fashions and trends that he might introduce to his homeland. An admirable goal, would you not agree? I get to present the guild to our client in the best possible light, so he gets to meet one of our finest. And you get a rare first-hand look at Far Eastern needlecraft. I dare say there's something in it for everyone. So, what say you? Sure, I'm in. That's why I like you, Desiree. Why don't you go on ahead and give our man a warm welcome into Ul'dahn? As he expressed an interest in seeing our markets, I propose we meet at the Ruby Road Exchange. You will doubtlessly recognize him by his traditional Eastern garb. Go along, and I shall be with you as soon as I tied up a few loose ends around the guild. Now... NPCs... Yes, I'm Kamei of Daitenya, purveyor of the finest kimono in Kugane. Do I have the honor of speaking to Redolent Rose of the Weavers Guild? Good eye, Desiree. I see you had no trouble finding our esteemed guest. Welcome to Ul'dahn, Master Kamei. I am Redolent Rose, and the honor is all mine. This is Desiree Klingor, one of the most talented young weavers I've personally had the pleasure of training. I trust you've had the chance to take in the sights a bit. Should you have any questions regarding Ul'dahn fashion or custom, any at all, Desiree here would be all too happy to answer them. Isn't that so, Desiree? Yeah, sure. You can depend on me. A most generous offer, Master Rose. I must confess that, though my companion and I arrived but a short time ago, we've seen colors and patterns so many and wondrous that we are still feeling a measure overwhelmed by it all. One thing, however, is certain. This land does not lack for, visual stimulation. It is as the young master says. I was particularly taken with the dress of the dancing girls and the manner in which it served to bring out the feminine grace of their movements. I must agree, though, they did seem to expose the skin more than we are accustomed to seeing. No doubt this is in large part due to the warmer climes. In my homeland of Hingashi, we are saying, a clouded moon blossoms in the rain. To put it in your tongue, one might say, beauty obscured is all the more beautiful. In dress as well, modesty is the highest of virtues. I fear the garments we have seen may be a bit too, bold for my countrymen. I see, yes. When introducing new fashions to a new land, one would be remiss not to consider matters of culture and climate alike. To that end, maybe the more conservative garb of Ishgard might be a more suitable starting point. Ishgard, though I've never traveled there myself, the tales I've heard say that snow and ice cover the lands in all seasons. I can only imagine that the silks of such a nation would not overexpose the flesh. Without seeing with my own eyes, of course, this is little but speculation. Funny you should say that, my friend. There's a ball to be held at the palace, not belts, from now, and a delegation from the Holy See is scheduled to attend. What better opportunity to see the finest fashions our neighbors to the north have to offer? A chance to witness Asgardian attire firsthand right here in Ul'dahn. This is most fortunate timing indeed. If it would not be too much of a burden, my companion and I would like nothing more than to take you up on your most kind offer. Say no more, it would be Desiree's pleasure. she'd also be happy to share with you her wealth of knowledge on Ishgardian aesthetics. Wouldn't you, Desiree? Yes. I told you she was the best we had. If you're looking to get the best view of a procession, the Royal Promenade should be just the spot. And I suggest you hurry along. There will be no shortage of would-be spectators, I imagine. Thank you both for your kindness. Mistress Klingor, my companion and I will await you at this Royal Promenade. Did you hear that, Desiree? In case the gravity of the moment has been lost to you, we stand on the verge of a potentially historic moment in the guild's history. Should Master K-May take a liking to us, Ul'dahn Fabrics will find a new audience across the Ruby Sea, and in turn, we will be able to bring the exotic fashions of the East to the Sultanate. No, to all of Eorzea. I have not felt this inspired since, well, I can't even remember when. I must return to the guild and put the designs in my head to parchment at once. Now hurry to our client's side, Desiree. I'm counting on you. Mrs. Klingor, was it? Thank you for joining us. It would seem the Ishgardians have yet to make their appearance. I'm most eager to see what fineries they favor. Ah, Mrs. Klingor, you have come at the perfect time. Are those two gentlemen not part of the Ishgardian delegation? I say, how can anyone abide this infernal heat? If they had the courtesy to inform me in advance, I would have worn something that breathes a little more. Why, I've half a mind to go change into something more comfortable. My lord, if I may be so bold as to remind you, it is for the very purpose of displaying this attire that Horse Helena deigned to participate in these festivities. Lord Terrell would not approve if you had to... Yes, I'm not daft, Honora. Go against brother's wishes, the fury forbid. Now, whatever is keeping my lady, after all, it's for her and her alone that I humored brother's request. Do not say a word. My lady, as ever, I find myself without the words to properly convey the elegance before my eyes. Truly, you're a rose among the weeds, your beauty blossoming even in this god's-forsaken desert. But I forget my manners. Might I, Emmanuelaine de Fortombe, have the honor of escorting you to the ballroom? If only we could show such poise on the battlefield. Did you say something, my lady? You seem pensive somehow. Mayhap you're feeling less than confident about your dancing abilities? Why not? I shall take the lead, and you need but follow. Do take heart, Lady Annette. I can say with some confidence that dance is mayhap the one discipline in which Lord Emmanuelaine's actual ability measures up to his words. And this supposed to comfort me? At least on the battlefield I could hold my own against this. The ignominy of it all. So those are the sorts of garments favored in Ishgard. Indeed, they exude a reserved, tasteful elegance. This is doubtful a reflection of the long history and tradition of this nation, both similar and different from our own. Clad in such robes, any man or woman would surely look as if they were born into nobility. The garment worn by the red-haired girl was most exquisite indeed. Pray tell, whatever might it be called? A bustle? A bustle, you say? The word is unfamiliar to me. Still, I could scarce take my eyes off it. What I would not give for one of my very own. Then I suppose we must move forward to the proposed arrangement. Let's return to the guild at once and settle the details with Master Rose. Mistress Klingor, your guidance and company both have been most appreciated. I trust we will be seeing more of each other in the days to come. Till then. The young master tells me that you are a hero who has traveled this realm far and wide. This is true, yes? I can only imagine the gorgeous robes and gowns your eyes have seen. The young master also tells me that you are a talented weaver in your own right, who has fashioned no end of wonders. Thought that one day I might clad this humble body in one of your creations, but I forgot myself. Till we meet again, friend. And report to Rose. I knew I could count on you, Desiree. Allow me to announce the momentous news. Our guild has entered into an exclusive trade partnership with Daitenya of Kugane. Mistress Kalingor, thanks in no small part to your generous guidance at the promenade, I'm pleased to say the negotiations went most smoothly. Our esteemed guest and his companion were both most taken with your aesthetic sensitivities. Is that not so, Master Kame? It is indeed. Master Rose spoke quite passionately about the many wonders you have wrought for your clients. I can scarcely wait to entrust you with a commission of my own. Though the journey is a long one, it would be our honor to welcome you to Kugane one day. Would it not, young master? It most certainly would be, and with that, we had best be on our way home. Master Rose, Mistress Klingor, we look forward to a long and fruitful partnership. Well done, Desiree. Yes, I do believe this marks the start of a new era for our guild. Mind you, this means we, and by we, I primarily mean you must work harder than ever. Your words will be the face of our guild in a whole new land, after all, and we simply must make a good impression. The next Weaver quest will be available from Redolent Rose upon reaching level 63. And with that, reach level 68. Ah! Come here. Ah, Desiree, you must see the shipment of silks that just arrived from our new friends from across the Ruby Sea. Simply exquisite, if I do say so myself. I can scarcely wait to see what wonders our weavers might work with them. But before that, there is one more important task at hand. The package also contained a letter from Daitenya, personally requesting your presence in Kugane to oversee a series of commissions that, in Master Kame's own words, could forever shape the fashion trends of our nation. A rather unusual request, but one that speaks to the importance of a client and Master Kame's own uncompromising devotion to the quality of his wares. I can see no reason to refuse. It will, needless to say, entail a long and wearying journey, but you wouldn't think of turning down an opportunity to study the fashions of the Far East and to curry favor with a valuable business partner in the process, would you? Of course you wouldn't. I look forward to seeing what wonders you might work with your needle the next time we meet. Godspeed, and do convey my regards to Master Kame. And with that, we go to Hingashi. Kame. Mistress Klingor, it's a pleasure and an honor to welcome you to Kugane. I trust that your journey was not an unpleasant one. Allow me to explain why I have summoned you all the way to these shores. Mayhap you remember that most exquisite Ishgardian bustle we saw at the ball in Ul'dahn? I would commission from you a similar garment, that I might gift it to a certain gecko who has struck my fancy. But forgive me, our culture and tongue are still unfamiliar to you, no doubt. Trained in the traditional arts of song and dance, the women we call gecko entertain at feasts, banquets, and the like. You might think of them as akin to the dancing girls of your land, albeit clad in a more modest dress. It's a popular pastime among the Mane class of Kugane to seek out a young Maiko, as gecko in training are known, and become her patron, lending her whatever support one might. Seeing a faltering child blossom into a beautiful flower, and knowing that you played a part on her journey, is a pleasure like none other. I'm pleased to say that a particular Maiko, whom I took under my wing some time ago, has formally been promoted to the possession of Gecko. At first, I thought to present her with the finest kimono from my own stock, but where would the romance be in that? No, to truly do justice to the occasion, I would gift her with a dress fashioned by one of Eorzea's most renowned weavers. That would be you, Mistress Klingon. This is a new age, my friend, and it's past time that the people of Kugana opened their eyes and hearts to the culture and customs of the West. Where is it written that my precious butterfly cannot perform a Hingan dance clad in Ishgardian silks? Nowhere, I say. As a fellow aesthete, surely you agree? Now, I would have you speak to the girl in question, that you might best tailor your work to both her form and her needs. You will find her in Sanyo Hanamachi, the flower district, as one might say in your tongue, where she and her fellow Gecko reside. Kotosho? Mistress Klingor, Master Kame said he would call for you, but I did not believe he would come. You have proven me wrong, and for this I am grateful. I am Kotosho. Do not speak of this with Master Kame, but in truth, commissioning from you a dress in the Ishgardian tradition was not his idea, but my own. To make a name for oneself here in the Hanamachi, mere skill at song and dance will not suffice. No, one must possess a unique quality, something to catch the eye of the audience, to stand above and distinguish oneself from the shrubs and the weeds. Master Kame was quite taken with my idea. I would have been content with a dress alone, but he insisted on bringing you here in person, that you might tailor it especially to me. You do us both a great honor, and for this we thank you. I have but two simple requests. The bustle should be of the same color as the kimono I now wear, with a pattern evoking the wings of a butterfly. That is the meaning of my name, you see. A name given to me for my ephemeral beauty. Master Kame will furnish you with the material you require. It is said that the Gecko's kimono is as a suit of armor as to a samurai. And let me assure you that the battles fought here in the Hanamachi are as fierce as those fought on any battlefield. The dress you fashioned for me will be my armor. I place my very life in your hands. And I will not fail you. You have spoken with Kotosho, I presume? What manner of dress did my butterfly request of you? The thrills akin to a butterfly's wings. A most inspired idea, if I do say so myself. Kotosho is an ambitious girl, and most particular about the garments she wears. It is no small task, but I have full confidence in your ability to fashion a dress that will help her rise above the crowd. Needless to say, Daitenya is honored to provide you with any materials you require free of charge. You need but speak to my man Yagiri here and inform him of your needs. Daitenya welcomes you, honored guest. I'm Yagiri. The young master has instructed me to provide you with the materials you require for his butterfly's bustle. I do believe this should suffice. The young master has imported some of the finest Ul'dahn silks, especially for this occasion. Should your work and Kotosho's dancing prowess capture the public eye, he believes that a new wind will blow in Kugane, so to speak. It is his dream to see the girl become the face of a new age of aesthetic ideals. That said, not all approve of the young master's aspirations. When he first declared his intentions to deal in Eorzean fabrics and fashions, the reaction from some of Kugane's more conservative artisans and merchants was far from encouraging. Still, Master Kame will not be deterred in his vision, and those of us who share his sensibilities would have it no other way. May the Kami guide your needle, that Daitenya might usher in a new era in Hingashi. Should you require additional fabrics, you need but say the word. Now, unlike a Realm Reborn and Heavensward, you need not farm or gather items to craft. You get the materials and then just go into special recipes story to craft the item. Your quest tells you to. The job is done, you say? Splendid. My heart has not stopped pounding since you began work. You must show me what you have wrought before it bursts. Remarkable. Why it's so light and Kasama it seems about to take flight. I would have Kotosho try it out at once. Yagiri, send a message to Namashi with all haste. What say you, young master? Does it suit me? Beyond my wildest dreams, my dearest Kotosho. The inimitable elegance of an Ishgardian countess, combined with the fragile grace of a fluttering butterfly. You shimmer and shine with the beauty of two worlds brought together as one. Wear this dress at your first public appearance at the Geiko, and all in attendance will lose themselves in rapturous bliss. I'm certain of it. You are most kind, young master. I feared that such extravagant attire might not suit me, but my fears are no more. I'm ordered to begin my new life as a gecko with your most exquisite creation, Mistress Klingor. For both of you, this I promise. I will not let your generous gift go to waste. Yes, Kotosho shall spread her wings and fly high, ushering in the winds of change to Kogane. Quality assurance learned. And we continue at level 65. Ah, Mrs. Klingor, I cannot thank you enough. It would be no overstatement to say that your bustle has swept the discriminating patrons of Hanamashi clear of their feet. Though she may lack the experience and name value of her seniors, Kotosho's services are in the highest of demands. As proof of this, my butterfly has received the most prestigious of invitations. A call to perform at the inaugural Kaiko Odori. The Kaiko Odori is to be a celebration of the opening of Kogane's port to the world and an ideal opportunity to introduce our cultural traditions to foreign dignitaries and luminaries who have just recently arrived on Hingan shores. Only the most accomplished and celebrated Geiko are being chosen for this occasion. For a fledgling as Kotosho to receive the call, this can only be a sign that a new dawn is breaking before our eyes. When my butterfly makes a debut before the world, none but the finest dresses will do. Might I commission your services once more, Mistress Klingor? I would trust the job to none other. As before, the particulars of the design I shall leave to Kotosho herself. Clearly, the girl possesses an unparalleled eye for fashion. Pray visit her in the Hanamashi and see what she has in mind. It is an honor to welcome you back, friend. The bustle you fashioned for me has caught the eye of many. Night after night am I summoned by the wealthiest merchants and landowners of Kogane who would spare no expense to spend a night in my company. But why limit myself to my own countrymen when there's a whole world out there to enthrall and entrance? If I can win the favor of our honored guests at the Kaiko Odori, there's no telling the heights to which I may soar. Dreams I never dared to dream will be within my reach. However, one matter concerns me. I'm accustomed to dancing in inns and tea houses, and yet these festivities will be held outdoors, under the open sky. I wonder, what manner of dresses are preferred for such an occasion in your homeland? One that is the shoulders brief? You do not think that would better suit girls in the pleasure district? But forgive me, I understand that Eorzea's customs differs from my own. Doubtless the sort of dress you speak of would make an impression. Whatever would one call such a garment, might I ask? A spring dress, you say? How very delightful. It calls to mind cherry blossoms dancing and twirling in a gentle breeze. By the very thought sets my heart aflutter. But do not forget, friend, light and airy though it may be, this dress will serve as my armor in my fiercest battle yet. I'm counting on you to see that I emerge triumphant. Do pass along my regards to the young master. Welcome back, Mr. Klingor. Do tell, what manner of dress do you intend to fashion for my butterfly this time? A dress that flutters like petals in a spring breeze. How absolutely delightful. I can only begin to envision what you have in mind, but surely it will evoke a sense of freedom and frolic entirely unlike our traditional kimono. Please, begin your work with my blessing. As before, I've instructed Yagiri to provide you with all the fabric you require. May the kami be with you, my friend. I can scarce wait to see what wonders your needle will work this time. Welcome back, honored guest. Say no more. The young master has told me everything. It is again my honor to furnish you with my finest fabrics from our stock. Thanks in no small part to your masterwork, Kotosho has become the darling of a flower district, and orders for Western fashions have been coming in night and day. The young master can be reserved in showing his emotion, but even he is finding it difficult to conceal his joy. Needless to say, we at Daitenya are honored to support your efforts in whatever humble manner we may. Should you lack for materials, you need but say the word. Winsome spring dress. Your work is done? Splendid! Pray show me what marvel you have fashioned for my butterfly today. This is simply stunning, my friend. I knew you would not let us down. That said, is the neckline not a touch low? No matter, we must summon Kotosho at once. Yagiri, send a messenger to the Hanamachi. Young master, Mrs. Klingor, what say you? I say nothing, my butterfly, for your unspeakable beauty has robbed me of all words. My worries about the neckline were for naught. The slender grace of your shoulders, why, you are as a delicate orchid blooming in the warmth of the spring sun. Yes, I can see it now. When you dance for the world at the Kaiko Odori, a spring breeze will blow down from the mountains high and sweep Hingan and Ijin alike into a glorious rapture. Your words make me blush, young master. It is by your patronage and the talent of Mrs. Klingor that I have come this far. But I assure you, this is only the beginning. When I take the stage at the Kaiko Odori, a new legend will be born. A legend? I trust this means you will not be tripping over your own 2 feet, as you did at yesterday's lesson, and the day before, for that matter. Forgive me, Totsuru. I mean no disrespect. I know your dancing ability far exceeds my own, but must you be so cruel about it? I speak only the truth, a truth that all can see, all save this 2-koban rack merchant and the amateur aesthetes who waste their coin on a clumsy child who hides her shameful lack of skill in gaudy, uncultured garb. Why, I may be a child and my skill at dance may yet be lacking, but I'm training as hard as any in the Flower District. I'm winning hearts with each passing day. Every night new customers flock to see me. New customers? I ask you this, my clumsy little caterpillar. How many of them come back? You're a curiosity, an oddity and little more. One night with you and your outlandish dresses, and they have had their fill for a lifetime. There are only so many patrons, wealthy patrons in Kugane, and they value tradition. Fail to win their hearts, and your career will as fleeting as a cicada will not live to see the autumn. But I must be on my way. My customers are calling. That was Kototsuru, the most senior and celebrated of all Gecko. She's also one charged with training her younger sisters, though she can be something of a harsh taskmistress, as you just saw. Show her. There's more to being a Gecko than stuffy old traditions. I may still be young, but I am the future of Kugane. I will soar high atop the Flower District long after that fusty old crane has gone home to roost. She can keep her stuffy old bureaucrats and merchants. I require no more than a young master and Mistress Klingor at my side. Kotosho's star is rising, and the Kaiko Odori it will shine brightest of all. You learn manipulation. Keime is not done lavishing presents on his precious butterfly. Mistress Klingor, you will be pleased to hear that the Kaiko Odori was a rousing success and, thanks in no small part to you of course, Kotosho was the star of the show. The foreign dignitaries in attendance were positively smitten with the sight of a Gecko performing a traditional Hingan dance clad in a striking Eorzean dress. A true fusion of East and West, the old and the new. What's more, ever since then, the inns and tea houses of the Flower District are packed with Ishin customers, many of whom ask for our butterfly night after night. So much for Kotsukuru and her haughty words of warning. With her popularity ever burgeoning, my butterfly has received another prestigious invitation. This time, none other than the Bugyo himself. Kugane's highest magistrate will be holding an exclusive banquet at his estate for an official guests of state, and he has called on a select group of Gecko to entertain them. If Kotosho can win the favor of a Bugyo and associates, none will be able to dismiss her as a passing fancy destined to vanish like the foam on the water. Needless to say, the importance of the occasion has not been lost on the dear girl. She's asked me for another gift, and who am I, who are we to refuse? I humbly request you call upon her at her residence in the Hanamachi and take note of her every wish. How long must this girl persist in wearing those tawdry rags? She may have no respect for tradition, but there's a reason that things are done as they are and have been for centuries before any of us were born. I will suffer her insolence no longer. Can you believe this, Mrs. Klingor? Kotsukuru insists that I attend the Bugyo's banquet in a traditional silk kimono. What right does she have to make such a decision? She is senior to me, yes, but I'm my own woman. Tell her what you told me, friend. Tell her that my boldness is an indispensable part of what makes me me. There you go again, Kotosho, dragging others into your petty squabbles. Can you not see this foreigner has more important matters on her mind? Pray forgive Kotosho her rudeness, Mistress Klingor. She cannot help being the petulant little girl she is. There you go again, Kotsukuru. Always thinking you know what's best for me. I am dragging Mistress Klingor into nothing. She fashions her masterworks for me because she believes in me and my dream, as Master Keime does. Is it not so? I think you're just jealous. Jealous because I am wearing inspired fashions from across the Ruby Sea while you are still trotting out that fusty old kimono. Poor child. Clearly my teachings were for naught, but I will deign to teach you one final lesson. This is what I propose. Let us compete to see which of us earns the favor of a Bugio. Challenge accepted. You will eat your words and your moth-eaten kimono both when the student outshines her teacher. Such confidence. I take it then you will not oppose to the conditions. The loser will immediately renounce her position and return to the scullery as an apprentice. Oh, but look at the time. A customer calls. Do try not to trip over your own feet when you practice now. Finally. I swear when Kototsuru stands beside me, the air so stuffy with musty old tradition that I can scarcely breathe. But a new wind blows in Kogane, and bold youth and individuality will win the day. I will see to this. And you will help me, yes? I would have you fashion the most eye-catching dress imaginable. Something that will make that old hack shrink from the mere sight. Maybe something like, But what was it what the dignitary spoke of? The piece favored by his favorite dancing girl. A Tafnarian bust? Yeah, was it? Well, whatever it's called, that is precisely what I want. You will make it for me, yes? In my favorite color, of course? And tell the young master that this is truly a life and death battle for this butterfly. We can afford to spare no expense. And now I must return to my lessons. I'm counting on you, Mrs. Klingor. You have spoken with my butterfly, I presume? What manner of dress does the girl seek this time? A dress even more revealing than that worn by the Ul'dahn dancing girls? What is that strange sensation I feel in my chest? As always, the finest fabrics in our inventory are at your disposal. What will you require? Not much. Oh dear. Just between the two of us, silk of a quality befitting my butterfly is not cheaply had. And yet, so long as Kotosho's stars continue to rise, the demand for Western fashion will spread and our profit will only grow. A contest of Kototsuru, you say, with a loser forced to start her career over from the lowest rung of the Gecko ranks. This is most concerning, to say the least. But no, I must trust in my butterfly. The girl has not achieved all she has by walking the well-trodden path, and my own confidence and boldness and daring must be equals to her. You may follow Kotosho's order to the letter, and do so with my blessing. Yagiri will provide you with all you require. Never calmly guide your needle, Mr. Klingor. Welcome back, honored guest. The young master told me that you would be returning. Here's the fabric he has set aside for you. The silk is quite costly, this I know, but are you certain that such a limited quantity will suffice? It only covers... forgive me, friend, I meant no disrespect. You must understand that we in Hingashi have but recently become exposed to the cultures and customs of your homeland. Judging from what I've seen of your work, I have no doubt that any garment you fashion will be an exquisite piece of unparalleled quality and good taste. Should you require any more fabric, you need but speak the word. A brassiere of Tavnarian design cut low to distract potential business clients, thus providing the upper hand in negotiations. I must say, Mrs. Klingor, my heart is still... The dress is complete, you say? Pray show it to me without delay. It's lovely, my friend, but where's the rest of it? But it's just as I envisioned it. You simply must have my butterfly tried on at once. Kotosho! Kotosho! What say you, my friends? Kotosho, I, forgive me, it was too much for my senses to take in all at once. But now I see it all. I see your resolve and determination as never before. If you would bear your passion in full, know that you will have my unwavering support. You're too kind, young master. And Mistress Klingor, you have truly outdone yourself this time. It's so light and airy, why I feel as if I could take a flight this very instant. My battle with Kodotsuru is all but won. That's the spirit, my butterfly. Do not let that one fluster you. Breathe deeply and show the Bugyo the fruits of your training, and Mistress Klingor's masterpiece will surely do the rest. Thank you, my friends. Mark my words, my performance will be daring and bold as the dress you've gifted me. I will dance as I have never danced before. Forgive me, I seem to be short of breath. Now that is simply the anxiety I'm feeling in anticipation of my butterfly's most formidable trial yet. I'm sorry, Mrs. Klingor, but I'm feeling rather faint. Would you be so kind as to keep me company here until my butterfly returns? Of course. Oh, thank you for the company, my friend. I would surely have passed out hours ago were you not here by my side. But whatever is keeping Kotosho, surely the banquet is long over by now. Could it be that... No. My butterfly was triumphant, I'm sure of it. I can't stand the anticipation no more. Let us split and fight the girlfriend. I will make for the Bugyo's estate. My dear search for Pierce? I have known Kotosho to look out over the ocean there when she wants to clear her mind. Okay. Now, if she's clearing her mind, is that a good or a bad message? Remember, she had a pretty high stakes gamble here. Mr. Klingor, whatever brings you here? The master was worried and anxious for news. Forgive me for worrying you so. I do not deserve your kindness. Oh, my butterfly, thank for coming, but you are safe. When you did not return from banquet, I feared the worst. But pray tell, how did you fare in your contest with Kototsuru? Forgive me, young master, it's all over. And after all you've done for me. I failed you, my friends. The Bastille Mistress Klingor made for me was perfect, of course. All the blame lies with me. I was not worthy of it. The moment I stepped on the stage, all eyes in the audience fell on me. I saw the looks of shocked surprise on their faces. And before I knew it, my mind was blank, my body frozen. If only I'd given my training the same attention as my attire, I might have salvaged a performance worthy of the occasion. What a fool I am. Finally, Ul'dahn. A pity it's too late. That dress, or whatever you would call it, is a marvel indeed. But I fear you also made a fatal error of judgment, my girl. The honored guest of a Bugyo, nearly to a man hailed from Razatan. The sight of scantily clad dancing girls is nothing new to them. They may have been amused to see the fashions of their homeland on display here in Kugane, but make no mistake, this is not what brought them here. They came to our shores to feast their eyes and ears on traditional Hingan song and dance. Yes, that tradition that you're so quick to scorn. But worry not, you will have plenty of time to learn to appreciate it in your second apprenticeship. Watch closely and have the humility to learn from those around you, and mayhap you will reclaim your position on your own merits. I, for one, would welcome that day. I should have known. I was never Kototsuru's equal. She sees clearly all that I was blind to. The truth of my clients, of the trends in fashion, even of myself. For all her harsh words, she was only looking out for me, doing all she could to teach me the ways of the world. And yet I responded with the insolence and impudence of a child. Even still, she never gave up on me. Not even today. I will not forget the lessons I've learned. I will carry them in my heart at all times as I start over from where I began. That one day I might spread my wings and fly once more. Master Kame, after all you've done for me, in the end I brought nothing but shame to you and your family's business. But I will not ask for your forgiveness. No, for I must show by my deed that I am truly deserving of it. I promise that my flower will bloom once more. You will wait until that day, yes? But of course, my sweet butterfly, to see you peruse your dreams with such single-minded devotion, the shackles of custom and tradition be damned, it has filled me with a new sense of purpose. Perhaps your rise was too swift, too striking for the staid, uncultured masses. But this I know, stay true to yourself and devote yourself to your training, and your era will come. It is but a matter of time. Thank you, my friends. And now I must return to my quarters and gather my belongings. Farewell, young master, Mrs. Klingon. Till we meet again. I put on a smile for Kotocho's sake, but to speak the truth, I'm at something of a loss right now. I would return to my store and collect my thoughts. Pray, stop by later. There are matters we should discuss. Now, I must admit, during my first run of this questline, I was a bit surprised they let her just fail here. I mean, it's a good lesson, but I was surprised they incorporated it in the story of a Weaver quest. Also, considering she, when she's in Fort, looks out of the ocean, I wonder if she originally comes from Suino Sato, from the Ruby Sea, underwater and all that. Because she is Rain, so that would fit. Thank you for coming, my friend. To be quite honest, I fear for what will become of our business without Kotosho to lure in potential customers and draw attention to our Western fashions. Still, there's not to do but hawk our wares and hope that our butterfly's stay in the apprenticeship rank will be short-lived. In the meantime, pray continue to heighten your aesthetic senses and own your craft. When Kotosho regains her status, I would gift her with a garment worthy of the occasion. Mistress Klingor, I have a most wonderful news. Our butterfly is a Geiko once more. Let's say Kotosho devoted herself to even the most menial of her tasks with such diligence that she quickly won over even the strictest of her seniors. She will make her triumphant return to the Kugane Odori, the greatest spectacle in our fair city. The veteran Geiko and fledgling Meiko alike take the stage in a vivid display of all the cultural riches the Hanamashi has to offer. The festivities are held once each year, and as tradition goes, the Geiko who earns the highest acclaim takes her place atop the flower district's until such time as she is dethroned at a future event. As you might imagine, Kototsuru has held that position since, well, since as long as I can remember. There has, however, been a most unexpected turn of events. Just the other day, Kototsuru announced she will not only be withdrawing from the festivities, but retiring from the Hanamachi altogether. Rumor has it she is to be wed. The suddenness of it all has the flower district in a state of disarray. That said, this could very well be the chance of a lifetime for our butterfly. So I thought, at least. Yet, for reasons I cannot comprehend, when I asked what she would wear this time, she simply lowered her head and walked away. It is entirely unlike the girl to be so glum. On the eve of what very well might be the chance of a lifetime. Is it possible she harbors a worry that she is ashamed to discuss with me? I cannot say, but I would be ever so grateful if you could talk with her in my stead. Okay. Oh, Mrs. Klingor, have you come to congratulate me on my promotion? You're always so kind. Sadly, I'm afraid I'm not much in the mood for celebration. Thank you, friend, but you have heard the news, yes? Kototsuru is leaving the Hanamachi, never to return. However can this be? It embarrasses me to say this, but were it not for Kototsuru, I would not be the Geiko I am today. As a child, I saw her twirl across the stage at the Kugano Odori, and it moved me as nothing I'd ever seen before. In that instant, I knew I would give anything to dance beside her one day. At the Brugio's banquet, my dream was finally realized. In the end, my performance was not worthy of sharing the same stage, and yet still, deep down, the little girl inside me was giddy as could be. This is what sustained me as I scrubbed the floors and folded the kimono of girls years my junior, knowing that if I did what was asked of me, the day would come that I could once more stand next to she who taught me everything, and this time prove my true worth. But now that day will never come, and so I have told the young master I will have need of his gifts no longer. To take the stage with this empty heart would only bring shame to him, and to the flower district itself. You have been most kind to me, but I would be alone with my thoughts for a while. Tell Master Keme I'm sorry. Oh, thank the Kami return. You have spoken with my butterfly, yes? What is it that pains her? I see. Without her rival and role model to bring her focus, Kotosho has lost the will to go on. The poor girl. Why must she torture herself so? That said, it is quite like her. Once she has set her mind to something, she is not easily swayed by the words of others. It can be one of her most endearing qualities, and at times like this, one of her most frustrating. As the girl's patron, it's my duty to support her in any way I am able. To this point, this has mostly taken the form of tangible gifts, but it would seem my butterfly requires a different sort of favor from us this day. Mrs. Klingor, might you be so kind as to accompany me to speak with Kototsuru? We may yet be able to convince her to reconsider her decision. She is known to frequent the piers at this time of night. I will be along as soon as I have seen to matters around the shop. Thank you, my friend. Well, if it isn't the adventurer that fool child is always imposing on. Whatever brings you here. Kototsuru, you must hear us out. A young girl's very life hangs in the balance. Must you always be so dramatic? You are free to make your plea, though I, of course, am free to deny it. I beg of you, Kototsuru, pray postpone your retirement, if only for a fortnight. Say that you will dance at the Kugano Odori one last time. Forgive me, but I believe this life is my own to live. To tell the truth, I've already put off my marriage quite long enough. Though I'm getting no younger, I could not very well leave the Hingashi without knowing I had a worthy successor, one who could lead the flower districts for years to come. But things are different now. There is at last one who could follow in my footsteps. She's already a favorite of the crowds, and though once she stumbled, she has risen again with newfound humility to temper her passion. I would step aside and let her take center stage. Meanwhile, the girl of whom you speak is saying that she may never dance again. This is why we have come to you, Kototsuru. You must help us save our butterfly. Whatever would you need of me? You are her patron, are you not? It is you and Mistress Klingor who supported her through her most taxing trials, not I. You're the one who gave her a dream. It is true that we spared no effort to help the girl realize her dream, but were it not for you, Kototsuru, that dream would never have been born. Without you to guide her, to challenge her to be more than who she is today, she's as good as lost. One last chance to share the stage with her idol, to prove herself worthy. This is all my butterfly wants, and if she's deprived of it, it will haunt her for the rest of her days. We beg of you, Kototsuru, do not abandon the child in her moment of need. You would propose another contest. Be forewarned that I would not take the challenge lightly. If I were to defeat her again, who is to say she would not flee the Hingashi with her tail between her legs? If that is how it goes, it would only show that she was not ready to carry on your legacy after all. If that is the case, is it not better you learn now rather than later? No? Indeed. Harsher words than I would expect to hear from you, Keimei, and yet there's truth in them. Very well, I will acquiesce to your request. You will see me on stage at the Kugano doorway, on one condition. Kotosho and I will don the same dress and dance the same dance, a dance of my choosing. We will perform the ancient dance that came to Hingashi from Doma in days long past, the Daitenya no Mai. The dance of an angel lured down from her sequestered home in the sky. But Doman custom dictates that all who dance the Daitenya no Mai must wear a Tenyo ha Ngoromo, in the classic tradition, of course. Simply nothing else will do. Now, Master Keimei, I trust you will be seeing to my attire as well as that of your precious butterfly? Yes? But of course, it would be our pleasure. Right, Mrs. Klingor? You may consider it a wedding present from the both of us to you. That said, this is quite unprecedented. I cannot recall the last time a dance of ancient Doma was performed at the Kugano doorway, much less a time when two leading geiko performed in identical garb. You seek to level the playing field, to ensure that this is a test of pure skill. Very astute, Keimei. For all your posturing, at times I look in your eyes and see the man who found me in the tea houses, bought me my first kimono so many years ago. Father? At any rate, consider all your conditions accepted, Kototsuru, for all that you have done and will do for my butterfly. I thank you. And with that, I should return to the flower district. I look forward to my present, Mistress Klingor. Well, that went about as well as could be expected. Still, we haven't any time to lose. Let us meet back at the shop. I will send for Kotosho. So we meet again. The young master asked me to come at once. The timing is curious, but it's just as well. There's something I must tell the both of you. It would seem we are all here. Excellent. Kotosho, there's something you must know. Wait, young master. Before that, there's something I would say as well. To both of you. You've been so gracious with me, lavishing me with presents I scarce deserved. but I fear I can't accept your patronage no longer. Whatever passion for my art I once had burns within me no longer, and so I will be leaving the Flower District. Forever. Wait, my sweet butterfly, have you not heard the news? Kodatsu has agreed to give one last performance as the Kugano Odori. What's more, she has issued a personal challenge to you. What? Could this be true? She has, however, given her conditions. The two will be performing as one, the Tenyo no Mai, the dance of ancient Doma, and do so clad in identical Tenyo Hagoromo, fashioned by Mistress Klingor's hand. Can my ears be believed? I will not only share the same stage with Kototsuru, but don the same dress, and dance the same dance? Change of plans, young master. Your butterfly will not be retiring after all. After all, we must send Kototsuru off in grand fashion, must we not? Mrs. Klingor, might I trouble you with one last commission? Those are the eyes, burning with passion, that stole my heart that day. We stand by your side as ever, my butterfly. Pray, show us the dance of your lifetime, and give Kototsuru the wedding present that only you could provide. Young master, Mistress Klingor, words cannot convey my gratitude for all you have done for me. I promise you that this time will be different. No, I will not shirk my training for even a moment. But what I am doing still here? I must begin at once. This will be the final piece I ask of you, friend. I need not impress upon you the gravity of it all. For my part, I can assure you I've spared no expense in procuring the finest of materials. Fabric of the purest white, so pure one would think they were weaved by the angels themselves. White to symbolize Kototsuru's betrothal and Kotosho's rebirth. The traditional garment of the East. It will doubtless be unlike any dress you've fashioned before, but I trust in your talent and all you've learned since coming here to Kugane. I am most looking forward to seeing your Hagoromo. Welcome back, friend. I trust you have come for the fabrics the young masters preferred. They're yours. The Tenyo no Mai, as Doma legend has it, was first danced to entice an angel down from a castle in the sky in which she sequestered herself. It is a dance with a storied history. It is not surprising that Kototsuru, with a deep appreciation for tradition, would make such a choice. And yet, to my knowledge, it's rarely performed by two dancers in tandem. Doubtless Kototsuru was looking to give the audience at her final Kugano Odori the show of their lives. It would seem that the veteran has high hopes for Kotosho as well. But can the young butterfly truly live up to her mentor's demanding expectations? I, for one, will be on the edge of my seat. And we need to craft twice. A billowy kimono of Far Eastern design named for angelic beings from Hingan folklore. Is that what I think it is? I knew I could count on you, friend. Excellent. I would not spoil the moment by looking upon them here and now. No, I will deliver the dresses to the Hanamashi at once. You have my most sincere gratitude for all you have done for us. Pray, do not miss the festivities. I'm quite certain it will be a spectacle for the ages. Ah, there you are, Mistress Klingor. Kotosho and Kodotsuru are set to take the stage at any moment now. Just look at them, my friend. If such a thing were possible, I would swear 2 angels descended from the heavens and stand before our very eyes. Every glance, every movement in perfect unison. It is as if the 2 of them breathe as one. Is this still our mortal world we live in? Pray pinch me, friend, but I might be certain I have not been spirited away to a land of dream and fancy. On second thought, stay your hand, for even if we were trapped in a fantasy, never to return whence we came, if I could watch these 2 for all eternity, I would gladly accept such a fate. I have no words for the beauty I just witnessed. It is as if I am lost in a dream from which I hope never to wake. You can thank Mistress Klingor for that. From the moment I wrapped myself in this Hagoromo, it is as if I had truly transformed into an angel. In all my years on the stage, I've never felt as I did this day. It was as if our bodies and souls were one. I knew not where one of us ended and the other began. And to think that I almost left the Hanamashi without ever having experienced the rapture of this night. Kodotsuru, forgive the headstrong, foolish girl you knew, and know that the woman who stands before you understands all that you have done for me through the years, and thanks you from the bottom of her heart. It would appear our contest has ended in a draw, but I would have it no other way. Once I dreamed of a day when I would surpass you, but today a new dream is born inside of me. All that you have given me, I will share with those around me. The young master, Mistress Klingor, and all those in Kugane, citizen and wayfarer alike, would honor me with her patronage. The Flower District will be in safe hands. Farewell, my dear sister, and may happiness fill the rest of your days. Thank you, my dear, but let us save the farewells for a proper occasion, shall we? Or is the shining star of Hanamashi in such demand that she would refuse an invitation to perform at my ceremony? Mrs. Klingor, you truly outdid yourself this time. I have not the words to convey the full depth of my gratitude. With Kototsuru's retirement, the changing of the guard is complete. Kotosho will assume her place atop the ranks of the Gecko, where she will lead the Flower District into a new era. Great changes are coming, no doubt, but I'm confident my butterfly is up to the task. After that ethereal performance, word has it all in the Hanamashi feel the same. I spoke with a girl just before you came. She says that henceforth she intends to perform in both the Eorzean dresses you fashioned for her and the traditional kimono handed down to her by Kodotsuru. In this way, she says, she would usher the Flower District into the future, while taking care never to lose sight of the traditions of her past. Oh, how the girl has grown. My apologies. It is unlike me to get so emotional, and this, I do believe, marks the most successful conclusion of our contract. Thank you, my friend, and rest assured that my butterfly will see that your sublime fashions do not go to waste. I do hope that your sojourn in Kugane has been a fruitful one. After all, mayhap your countrymen in Eorzea might take interest in Hingan fashions as we are taking an interest in yours. But forgive me, this is but a humble suggestion. Until our paths cross again, safe travels, my friend. I'm pleased to say that after Tosho and Kotsuku's legendary performance, all have been pouring in night and day. It's all Yagiri and I could do to keep up. Not that I'm complaining, of course. Meanwhile, Kotosho has firmly staked her claim as Kotatsu's successor atop the Hanamashi. Everyone who is anyone in Kugane names her their favorite. And yet, whenever I go to meet her, she is still the same sweet, humble girl I've ever known her to be. I do not deserve one so as beautiful as her in my life, yet I cherish it all the same. Can I speak to her as well? Yep, and she wears the Hagaromo. Mrs. Klingno, I cannot thank you enough for all you've done. Thanks to you, my career as a gecko has been a success beyond my wildest dreams. Just between the two of us, there are times when I wonder if I truly deserve this success and I lose heart. But when I do, I look at this dress. I think of all the sacrifices that you and Master Kamen made for me, and I vow to myself that I will make you proud. And one thing I wanted to look at, Redolent Rose. Welcome home, Desiree. I hear that you made quite a name for yourself over in the Far East. Mind you, there won't be any time to rest on your laurels. My commissions for Hingan fashions are pouring in by the day, and they're not going to weave themselves. How are things? Our partnership with Daitenya grows more profitable by the day, and would seem we have you and this Kotosho girl to thank. Yes, Master Kame tells me that Eorzean fashions are all the rage in Kugane these days. Do you hear that sound, Desiree? That's the sound of gil pouring into our coffers. Keep up the smashing work. Okay, but with that I end this episode. Yeah, it was interesting. Not my favorite crafter story, but it was interesting. But then, fashion is absolutely not my... Not a thing I care in real life all that much about, so... Yeah. Until next time then, I'm Mace, and don't get lost.